A good Sunday afternoon to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. It representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at a fairly potent trough of lower pressure swinging on through in the upper levels, and a surface area of low pressure that's going to bring a cold front that is crossing through parts of the eastern Canadian Maritimes now and dragging this frontal system through. It's catching in some Great Lakes moisture, but it's relatively moisture starved, but the potent effects producing snow squalls for this afternoon, and these are going to be working on through Vermont over the course of the next several hours. In terms of temperature and the big picture here, this is what we're looking at. Very cold weather up to the north, again across good portions of Canada. Most of eastern Canada affected, but a very strong ridge of higher pressure, and this is causing that digging action with this trough of lower pressure. Back into the United States, we're looking at the lower 48 here. Really the only main weather system affecting the U.S. is this one here, and then this old frontal boundary across the southeast United States. This is the strongest one that we're seeing right now, and in terms of wind gusts, once again, what you can see is these winds on the back side of that system. So this is a fairly potent storm system that's going to be moving on through with these snow squalls and could bring us somewhere between 35 and 45 mile per hour gusts, along with brief heavy snow that may only last for maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then push on through, and then alternating clouds and sunshine, the stuff that we're more or less accompanied with. And looking at the intensity of some of the snow here, you can see that it's in that sort of moderate category as some of these squalls are passing through up to our north and west. This will be moving through Sunday afternoon. We have the European on the left and the CMC ensemble, the Canadian ensemble. Canadian ensemble is now actually higher skill than what we're seeing. The Europeans the highest, Canadian second highest, and then the UK Met, followed by the GFS ensemble. So right now they're not too far off really. All of them are in pretty good agreement, at least in the short term. So this is our trough of lower pressure, and so forth and so on. So as we run the computer model, this will only show up every 3 hours on the right hand side. We're talking the Canadian ensemble there. So this will be moving on through. Again, it's technically not a big deal, but it's going to produce some potent gusty winds, very localized, and then finally this area of higher pressure will begin to build through, bring us a pretty nice condition during the day tomorrow, except very cold. And you can see still a little bit of a northwesterly wind, lowering wind chills. That area of higher pressure builds in, gives us a pretty nice Monday. This is valid at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then this is valid at about, excuse me, that was about 2, that's 4 now. And finally, we're looking at 7 o'clock in the evening on Monday evening. This area of higher pressure will be centered overhead. Should bring us a lot of sunshine, a fair amount of sunshine. Best solar generation looks like it'll be along about Friday with the next best project weather day. But a good project weather day developing on Monday thanks to that area of higher pressure. Then we have this weak system here. It's almost like a warm frontal boundary, some kind of warm frontal genesis. It looks like a little bit of a southerly flow with this area of higher pressure and a kind of a disturbance there. This is going to power up into an area of low pressure. Now this would be valid during the evening hours on Tuesday and into really Tuesday night. It looks like the bulk of the snow with this next weather system that'll be developing for next week. And then that moves on through and then kind of lingers a little bit into Wednesday with some flurries and maybe some lake effect streamers. And it does look like Wednesday, part of the day is going to be dry, especially in the afternoon into a portion of Wednesday night before this next little system picks up a little bit of moisture off the Great Lakes. It's a relatively weak disturbance. We're probably talking about just a few flurries, probably under 1 inch amounts of total snowfall. And then once that moves on out, we have this kind of elongated ridge of higher pressure, 1040 hectopascal, not bad. That's going to be pushing in and bringing us a pretty decent Friday with a ton of sunshine. And then the area of low, high pressure then moves off the coast, and we're going to be beyond the period at this point. So it looks like that Friday system will also last into Saturday with decent amounts of sunshine, probably some high clouds beginning to shift into the region. And it does look like a weather pattern change because we're going to get into a warm up here. Now we have this kind of a weather pattern here that's going to be featuring a trough out west and a ridge of higher pressure more or less across the east. And that's going to bring us, unfortunately, some rain and probably some gusty winds, and maybe along that leading edge a little bit of mixed precipitation types. This is beyond the period now. We're talking about Sunday. It looks like some more rain, and it looks like precipitable waters with this system, somewhere between about 2 and 4 sigma. So not as heavy duty as the last go around, but still it's going to present us with, unfortunately, some rain, and that takes place basically on Sunday into Monday. Some lingering and then changing back to some snow showers and flurries, maybe some gusty winds on the backside of that system going into early next week. This is a 3-hourly QPF, so here's our system on Sunday afternoon, and then we clear on out, a good weather day on Monday, and then as we get into Tuesday night, and into a bit of Wednesday, and then finally, once we get into Friday, another good driver. And then it does look like we get into this a little bit more hefty amounts of moisture with that extra standard deviation I was talking about, the little bit higher metrics that'll be working in with precipitable water as we head into Sunday this next coming weekend. And just give you an idea here in terms of the total QPF, it looks like this. Kind of little bump ups, not a big deal each time we have precip. Now, this is more indicative of that warm up here. It's not being shown here with the GFS ensemble. However, the European model takes this up to around 50 degrees on Sunday. Looking at the 850 hectopascal temperatures, we're below the 0 degree isotherm, meaning all the precipitation that will fall will be in the form of snow, except once we get up here, and this is definitely showing up with the GFS ensemble, so there's a little bit of agreement there. And then in terms of precipitation type, it looks like this, and you can see there's a little bit of a mix here. So this coming weekend is going to be a bit of an issue for us, probably with some gusty winds coming in, some gusty winds going out. Weather Prediction Center, the 7-day total accumulated precipitation shows us about 2,500s here with this line here, valley seeing less, and then about a ½ inch up in the northern parts of Vermont. Looks like the main precipitation band is a little bit further to the north of Vermont. And this is the climate reanalyzer showing we've made some inroads in slightly colder air, but some warmer air working in just out ahead of this advancing disturbance that we're seeing today on Sunday, and that's why the temperatures bump up to about 31, 32 degrees. And then once we get on the other side of that, things are going to change. So what about the next 5 days total temperatures, at least the maximums? Look at this warm up. Wow, 21 degrees above normal. Relatively warm, next to cold. This is the baroclinic zone, and so there'll be some frontal boundaries kind of locked in through here. But for us here, we're looking at colder than normal temperatures, almost 12 degrees below normal. 3 days later, looking not so bad, about 3 to 6 degrees below normal, neutral to the south, and that warm up has now shifted it into the east coast to our south. Last but not least, I want to show you the snow squalls and snow showers out ahead of this snow squall. This is our frontal boundary. You can see it here. This is going to do more damage than any of these. This is dropping a little bit of lighter accumulating snows. But what ends up happening is we get this frontal boundary here that's going to be pushing on in, and this is our snow squalls. And as it works in closer, you can see how it's setting up. Some lake effect bands currently going through the region, but this will be tracking through this afternoon and producing wind gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour. See the latest heads up subalert in effect, lasts through 6 p.m. this evening. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.